Welcome to part 4, where we'll recap what we've covered so far and walk through what happens after an MVP goes live. In part 1, we introduce MVP development and explain why it's essential to building successful software. In part 2, we broke down our 8-phase MVP development process. In part 3, we demonstrated that process through a real client case study. Now, in part 4, we'll focus on what happens next, how we validate the MVP, post-launch, and use real data to guide future decisions. Let's recap India's mystery beauty app and the core problem. India came to us to build an MVP for her mystery beauty app, with the goal of validating a very specific problem. Together, we refined her concept into a clear hypothesis. Do people with black hair struggle to find trusted, personalized professional guidance for their specific hair needs? And do existing platforms force them to guess where to go? This MVP is designed to test whether that problem truly exists and whether users are actively looking for a better solution. From research to feature hypotheses. Using the primary research we collected, including scraped community posts, polling data, and early insights, we began forming a list of potential feature ideas. Just like the original problem statement was a hypothesis, each of these features represents a question we want to test. In total, we identified about 17 feature hypotheses, all tied directly to user pain points and expressed needs. In the next phase, we'll determine which of these hypotheses are best suited for MVP testing. Translating hypotheses into MVP features. We then translated those feature hypotheses into concrete MVP feature concepts. This slide represents how each idea is structured, including the null hypothesis being tested, the feature title, and a brief description of how that feature would function. This approach allows us to clearly define what success looks like for each feature before it's built, ensuring every MVP component has a measurable purpose. What happens post-live? Ongoing MVP validation. Once the MVP is live, validation doesn't stop, it accelerates. We continue collecting data by scraping online community conversations, analyzing user behavior, and feeding those insights into our analytics. This helps us understand which features best address the problems users consistently talk about. The goal is to see real patterns emerge between what users say they want and how they actually engage. Direct user feedback through events and surveys. In addition to online data, we also propose in-person engagement as part of India's validation strategy. These are relaxed, community-focused events where her target audience can connect, participate in polls and quizzes, and share their real experiences. During these events, users also interact directly with the MVP, allowing us to collect first-hand usability feedback. This group becomes the initial private user population for early testing and refinement. 6-month review and feature decisions. Over a 6-month period, we continuously monitor feature performance using engagement data, surveys, and community feedback. Each feature is tracked with clear indicators, including the hypothesis being tested, user engagement, and the last time it was evaluated. At the end of this cycle, we use the data to make confident, evidence-based decisions about which features are worth further investment and which should be removed or reworked. Client dashboard and transparent decision-making. To support this process, we provide a dashboard that gives the client full visibility into each tested feature. For every feature, the dashboard shows whether it should be included, a visual wireframe, and the supporting data behind that decision. This includes insights from social media, online communities, polls, and UX testing, making every recommendation transparent and easy to understand. Now that you've seen our full MVP development process and a real client case study, the next question is how founders can actually move forward. We offer flexible ways to fund MVP development so you don't need heavy upfront capital to get started. Whether you're building independently or collaboratively, we provide options designed to meet founders where they are. If you have an app idea and want to validate it before investing heavily in development, the first step is simple. You can book a 30-minute consultation to explore whether MVP validation is the right path for your product. We'll help you clarify the problem, identify what to test, and determine the smartest way to move forward.